The next thing on our agenda is a report on the Evermore CID. Chair recognizes Mr. Gary Lott, please.
Good evening, all. Okay, the last meeting, not much was discussed other than the budget. There was a budget passed at the CID at 5 mils, and today the board approved a 5 mil request that's going to the newspaper to support that budget that they passed this morning. As far as the executive director position, 4 candidates were interviewed, and 4 more candidates are going to be interviewed at the end of the month, or pretty close to the end of the month, and then hopefully from those 8, selection will be made. The next meeting is on Thursday, the 28th, at 2:30. Other than that, there's not much going on. Any questions?
Mr. Lott, I have a couple of questions. I was at that meeting when the board announced their decision to interview more candidates for this position. I understand that you were not included in the conversation to go forward with more interviews. Is that
Well,
I understand you're talking about personnel, but I'd like to know the.
what the situation is that there have been email sent out discussing various parts of the interview process. In other words, there was a request by the chairman to have emails come in, and then there was emails sent out to other people. I don't spend my life sitting in my computer, so I don't get these emails moment to moment. And I had requested of the board that we do these by telephone. Because what happens is that emails will come in that the other members don't get a copy of. And for instance, the chairman will get an email saying, well, I like this from a particular board member. Then he'll get another email from another board member, and all of the other board members are not copied on these emails that are going forth. And then you'll get an email from the chairman that says, well, the majority feel this way. Well, what majority? I didn't see any majority. And so this is why I have requested from the chairman that this be done by telephone rather than emails, and that if necessary, we have special meetings. Because, like I said, I don't spend my life in front of the computer waiting for emails to come in that may not even come in. So what occurred was at the behest of, from what I find out, of several of the board members, they wanted to talk to some other people. And you were at that meeting where I wanted to make sure that the candidates that were interviewed were notified that they were still viable candidates, and that there was going to be additional candidates interviewed. But they had not set a date, they had not selected those candidates yet. And so that has now been done, and there will be 4 more interviewed, and hopefully that will put it to bed. That's all I can tell you about that.
Well, I just got a question about that. You had 4 candidates. Did you all take a vote on those candidates?
There was no vote taken as to which of those candidates would be the leader. Okay, in other words, of the 4 that were already interviewed. What occurred after the interviews were completed, there were discussions about who liked who and this kind of thing, but no vote was taken. And some of the candidates didn't get any appreciation, and some of the candidates did. I can tell you. But there was no vote taken as to which, to number the candidates 1, 2, 3, or 4, or anything along those lines. What it turned out to be is that they wanted to interview some other candidates. Now, there was a discussion concerning how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., and they decided that they would talk to 4. I was pretty happy with the 4 that we interviewed personally, and was willing to make the decision based on the 4 that we had already been presented with. So, however, I'm just one member, so there will be additional 4 more candidates interviewed.
All right, thank you very much. Any other council members have any questions? Mr. Shabbat?
Well, technical comment.
Oh, you're going wrong.
Just a brief report on the, if you don't mind, about
Which intersection?
McGee Road.
McGee and Cambridge.
Nothing's being done on any of these things at this particular time. There was an open house for the Hewitt Parkway Brit, but that was just an open house for the people who did the research, and the people who live along that area to come and be informed about that. And then there was the project, there were several other projects went on hold, including the Rock Bridge to Davis, the Sharp Trail project. Other than that, there's nothing, there is no project that has the highest priority that is going forward at this particular time. Basically, everything has been put on hold until the budget was passed, the mills were decided upon, and they want to wait until the new executive director comes on board. Though they're not going to be proceeding down the road here for another couple of weeks, as far as I'm aware of.
Yes, Ms. Bender.
But Mr. Lapidus, Cambridge Street and McGee Road, that project's already under construction, or are you saying that that's been?
No, it's proceeding, but it's not, how do I put it? It's not, it's under construction and there are things that are going on with it, but it's not, it is not at the exclusion of all others, if you follow what I mean. It's being worked on, but it's not being, I don't know how to put it. It's not going to at the speed until the executive director comes on board and take control of the situation. But it is being worked on.
Any other questions? Mr. Witz?
Clarification then, is it stalled? Is that what you're saying? Is the project kind of like stalled now, waiting on?
No, it's not really stalled because there were things that were in the works that were ongoing, but it is not on the front burner from the standpoint of all guns firing type of thing, where they're moving so fast on the thing. The primary emphasis is you get the executive director on board.
Let me just clear that out. Cambridge Road is under construction. It's being bid, it's led by Gwinnett County.
Yeah.
And it's going to be complete.
Yeah, it's going to be, right, but Gwinnett County's taking the lead.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying is there is no other project the CID's working on until such time as they get.
There are some things in the works from the standpoint of there are some research being done on some of the projects, but there's no big thing going on that they want to proceed on as fast as possible until the new executive director is elected.
All right. Byzantine, but Mr. Warner.
Just kind of clarification as well. Was that 0.5 mils or was that a full 5 mil?
As far as I know, it was a full 5 mil.
Thank you. Slappities, thank you very much. We'll see you next month. Okay, the chair will now recognize